My name's Toby Leighton Pope. I book Hard Rock Calling Festival. We've always based ourselves on iconic stars since day one. We always wanted an iconic artist. So starting off with The Who and Roger Waters, I think 5 years ago, we kind of want a good start. And then this year, 40th anniversary of Hard Rock, we wanted something really special, and that was Bon Jovi. And once we had that, then it was about how we make the event around that, bigger and better. I saw that Rod Stewart and Stevie Nicks were touring in America. She hadn't been here for so long. I mean, so long. I can't remember the last time she was here. She's got a new record coming out. And thought that they'd be a really cool Sunday night package, kind of slightly older, but just kind of in the park, Sunday night. Her and Rod. He was playing all the kind of rock and roll hits now. He's not doing the songbook, so it's the face of stuff. It's the stuff you want to hear. It's great. And then Friday just came together really well. I spoke to the Killers guys and said, I'm still looking for something a bit younger, a bit more contemporary on the Friday. And they were like, well, we're not doing anything this summer. We did it 2 years ago, we'll come back and do it again. And I sort of said, oh, you must be touring then? They went, no. And I went, well, you must be playing 10 shows in Europe. They're like, no, we'll just come and do Hyde Park, we loved it. And so they came back, and then it sort of fell together like that really, and sort of having them on the Friday, keeping it contemporary, following Pearl Jam the year before. Bon Jovi, we're going to sell 65,000 tickets for him, it's unbelievable. And then, Rod Stewart and Stevie on Sunday, which would be fantastic. On the Saturday, Lissy, she's very good. She's a great rock and roll chick, she's a brilliant laugh. Hang out with her, she's fun, but she's great. She's going to be on the main stage on Saturday. Imelda May's also playing on the second stage. If you haven't seen her, she's really stunning. Friday, it's kind of sort of takes you back to youth a bit with James. They're sort of one of those bands you kind of. I wasn't one of those people sat down in the disco, but I have walked over them, And then Friday, Sunday, Rumour, she's brilliant. The album's amazing, and she'll be fantastic. 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon, it's great. We keep the park the same. It's pretty hard to mess about with what we call the Queen's Back Garden. So we keep the layout that works really well. We've got the Serpentine Bar where you kind of just hang out around there, and shaded kind of bar, fun area. Then the second stage is kind of laid back, and the Hard Rock just do an amazing job with their cafe and their food and drinks. They just really take over the park and make it just fun. I was stood on the side of the stage one night, Neil Young was singing, and Paul McCartney was stood there, and he ran over to Paul McCartney, whispered into his ear, and then 2 minutes later Paul singing Day in the Life in the Hyde Park. And then after the show I went up to both of them and said, how was that, Neil? He said it was great. I said, Paul, you've got to do this next year. And he was like, yeah, maybe I should. And then a year later he's there, and I'm there with my mum and my dad, and they're kind of going, wow, that's the Beatles on stage. It's a pretty cool thing to be a part of, And also watching bands like Gaslight Anthem. I think I've had them play 3 times. I'm not one of those guys who says, if you play our festival this year, you can't play next year. I don't think people think like that. It's like people sort of bang on about repetitive bills. I'm not one of those. I'll put a band on every year if I think they're good. James Morrison's played twice. Jason Mraz has played like 4 times. So they're all fun, really good live acts, and they kind of hang out and never laugh with it. Gaslight Anthem started on the small stage, then we put them on with Springsteen on the main stage, then Springsteen dragged them on stage. He came and sang with them on stage, and they sang with him on stage. It's that kind of stuff that really excites me about the event. Really makes it's sort of this little special moment. So we're in touch with. We're lucky. We tend to have 1 or 2 every year.